So in this video, I'm going to use SketchUp to come up with various ideas for redoing the covered backyard patio area. Right now, there's a paver patio covered by an aluminum awning. The awning is damaged from when a tree fell on it, and the pavers themselves are so old and they are starting to not be level anymore due to all the Minnesota winters. So I've been making multiple drawings in SketchUp, trying to think about what direction do I want to take. Do I want to go with a deck? Do I want to go with a paver patio? What size should it be given the size of the house so it doesn't look like there's a massive deck? Should it be covered? I think after having made multiple designs, I really am leaning towards another paver patio. I feel like the deck is just going to look too big alongside the house, and it really limits the number of ways that you can access the area. So I'm hoping I'm starting to dial in my design. So each one of my designs, I don't want to redraw the house. So I have a drawing of my house already, and I can insert that picture or that drawing of the house into this drawing so I don't have to redo that every single time. When this house component enters this drawing, to make things easier, I place it at the origin. Because I had some concrete block added to my drawing after I'd already designed the house, and that was below the origin, I actually had to move it up a little bit using the move tool. Alright, now we have the drawing of the house in there, and one thing that's different between this drawing and my real life house is that soon I will be getting sliding glass doors from the kitchen back out into the patio. So those aren't really there quite yet, but in the next month or so that'll be installed. And so I'm trying to design with those in mind. All right, let's start by drawing the paver area. The paver area is going to be in alignment with the side of the house. So I'm going to pick the corner of the house to start my rectangle, and then I'm going to pull the rectangle in the direction of the paver pad. I can see the dimensions in the lower right hand corner. I can then, before I click, type in the actual dimensions that I want. So in this case I want 16 feet long by 12 feet deep. Type that in, hit enter, and now you have the paver area. And I can pull that up and give it a thickness of, let's say, 3 inches. Next, I'm going to draw the side view of the new roof or covering over this paver area. To do that, I'm going to rotate the drawing so I can get a really good view of that side. And then I'm going to use the measuring tape tool to draw some guidelines. So I zoom in, and I'm trying to create a vertical line here at the corner of the house and then another one at the other end of the paver patio. Now that I have the two vertical guidelines, I'm going to use the tape measure tool to make a line that's parallel and horizontal to the edge of the paver patio to mark the top of the roof covering of that paver patio. Then I'm going to make a couple more parallel lines down from the top. Now when you're doing this, make sure that you're paying attention to the arrow and the direction it is, the color that it is. The vertical axis is blue, so I need to drag that line that I want to make in the direction of the blue arrow. And then I can type in that I want a 6-inch distance between the two lines and hit enter. That line is going to be used for constructing the sloped part of the roof. Now I'm going to make another parallel line that is 6 inches below that, and that is going to be like the 2x6s that hold up this roof covering. With the measuring tape tool, I'm going to make a final line that connects the top edge of the roof to the bottom edge so that the roof slopes away so rain and snow and stuff will roll off the roof. Now I'm going to use the pencil tool to sketch in the sides of this side view. I use the intersection points of the guidelines to help me find the precise points to where to draw with the pencil. Now that I have the side view, I can use the push-pull tool to make that two-dimensional shape 3D. To know precisely how far to pull it across, though, I'm going to use a guideline to mark the end of the patio. Alright, so we have a really rough draft of what I'm envisioning. The guidelines are kind of in the way right now. I don't need them anymore, so I can go and I can remove those. If we want, we can start adding some of the material colors to make it look more realistic. I'm thinking maybe of like a galvanized steel, corrugated roofing material, maybe on top of like some cedar beams that are holding it up. When you're doing these drawings, you're going to have to decide how detailed you're going to want to be. Are you just mocking it up to get an idea of how it's going to look, or are you really trying to figure out how you're going to put it together, estimate materials, and all those sorts of things? In my case, I'm still coming up with a design, and clearly this drawing is not finished. So I want to be a little more detailed with the underside of the roof, and then I got to start building in the beams that are going to support this roof. So to create the individual beams, I'm going to again go back to the measuring tape tool and make a lot of guidelines across the bottom face of this roof. So I'm roughing these in. I know a 2x4 is not really 2 inches, but I'm going to go over 2 inches and 16 inches to get an idea of how it would look. When I have all the guidelines, I can go back with the pencil tool, connect the intersection points so that all of the beams are drawn. All right, time to put in the stairs. Use the measurement tool to see I've got about a 2.5 foot distance to cover between the bottom of the sliding glass doors and the top of the patio. I'm going to drop in some guidelines so I can see where the start and end of the stairs will be. Then I can use the rectangle tool to lay out the base of the stairs. All right, this patio awning would never be able to support itself, so I need to put in some posts. To do this, I'm going to do the same process that I use for almost all parts of these drawings. I'm going to use the measuring tape tool to draw the guidelines, and then once I have them, I'm going to use the pencil tool or the rectangle tool to draw the actual shape. Then use the push-pull tool to make it 3D to pull it to the correct length. Sometimes when you draw lines, SketchUp will get confused and add in shapes that you didn't intend. You can go ahead, use the arrow tool, click on them, and then press delete and it'll remove them. Alright, so I have the basic design, but I really want to know if this design is going to work. And so we want to use the component library, the 3D warehouse, to find picnic tables or chairs that we want to add onto the design to see if everything is really going to fit and we can use the space the way we want to. If the component is not rotated in the correct orientation, you can use the rotate tool, it looks like a compass, to rotate the shape so that it fits in your drawing. Pay attention to the color of the protractor, and what you're going to do is click on 2 points that make a line in the plane that you want to rotate. Once you've clicked on the 2 points, you'll be able to then start rotating the component. Then you can use the move tool to move the component back into the appropriate position. To deselect the component, go up to the arrow tool, click it, and then click off of the component and it'll be deselected. Alright, I'm going to throw in one last component, a rocking chair. In your design, you may want to throw in a grill or 2 chairs or whatever you want.